previous event that you guys did a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, what'd you drive then?
2 different times, GT3 and Huracan.
Okay. All right, cool. So this is going to be a cross between the GT3 and the Huracan. A little bit more tamer than the Huracan. It's like, I call that the brute force. You know, they're super Italian, just muscle.
It screams too.
It does. See, this is the same engine, but it's just more timid. It's more of a driving car. But it's a lot of fun. All right, so go ahead and put your foot on the brake, and then we'll put it in drive. And as soon as we get the go ahead, we can. So I'll just run through real quick the cones as you paid attention in class. You've got a series of cones out there. Most important one is the lift cone on the 2 straightaways. We got to be out of the throttle at those lift cones. And then we're going to hit the brake zone, which is the 3 red cones next to the 3. And then you've got the 2 cones next to the 2. That's brake, and then brake harder. So we start out with a little bit of brake, and then we slowly push in. And if we need to brake hard, I'll say brake harder, harder. And all that we want to get done in a straight line. We want to be towards our turning cones, which up here was on the right-hand side. That's a left-hand turn into the left. We want to be at that side of the track, and then we proceed over to our apex cone, which is our fluorescent cones. And then once we go through the actually you can start to
that rear straightaway is the fun one. It's a surprise.
Yeah,
it's
that crest. Yeah. You know? Everybody's afraid the first time because it's like, well, where am I going? Which way?
Exactly.
You know, so I always say, just get to the center of the track and trust me, you'll be fine.
Yes.
There's nobody there.
That's the I think the funnest part.
All right, so we're gonna get 4 laps, which is nice because we've got extra time here. So, yeah. So our apex cones are fluorescent cones, and then I like to hold the wheel just through the apex and look for our next series of cones, and I'll point them out. Real smooth inputs. You can start to roll out. Real smooth inputs on the wheel and on the throttle on the car, and. Right, so our first series of turning cones you'll see to the right there. So we're coming down the straight, we want to be on that side. About 2 or 3 feet from the edge of the track to our safety zone, and then back over, staying off the painted surface through our apex. Keep your hands up at 9 and 3. Follow that through to our turning cone, and then back down into the apex. You can build on that throttle. Okay, throttle through onto the left side of the track. I'm just going to go ahead and let this GT3 pass because he's right on our butt. She should have let him. So I'm going to stay tight to the right, all the way to the right, nice and tight to the right. Go ahead, there you go. He's going to just go ahead, throttle up. They were just too close. So straight over all the way into our yellow cones. We'll lift, get over to the left side of the track a little bit, make your way over just slightly. Brakes, beautiful. Turn into our apex on my side. Follow that all the way through to our next series of cones, and then back to your side apex. Let the car track out to the right side, throttle through to our orange cones, and then back to our apex. Beautiful, nice and smooth, and out to the left. Stay out to the left side a little bit, and then we're going to track tightly into the right apex. And as we go over that crest, you can start to roll on the throttle. Let it track out a little bit as you unwind and throttle. A little bit of braking, a little bit more, staying out to the right, a little bit more, and then turn into our left apex. Nice job. Hold that all the way through to the next series of cones, then back to the right, throttle through this, and then let the car naturally track, unwind, and back to the left side. Real smooth on the wheel, down to the left, a little bit of braking, and then nice and tight on my side. Hold that apex, turn it in nice and tight. We got to stay off the painted surface because it's rough and slippery. Stay to the right on the apex. Back over to the left, center of the track. Throttle up and over the hill. Stay in it all the way to the yellow cones. Beautiful. We lift and get a little bit of braking done. A little bit more. Okay, and then turn into the right apex. Hold that all the way through to the orange cones and start to build on that throttle a little bit through the S's here. Beautiful job staying off that painted surface. Again, it's slippery, so we track out, throttle up. Back to my apex on my side. And then out to the left. Stay out to the left. beautiful. Stay out to that left, and then tight onto my side. Then turn in. As soon as we hit that apex, you can start to roll on the throttle. Let that steering wheel unwind a little bit and use the whole surface of the track and throttle up. Nice job. Beautiful. We're going to lift and brake. Brake hard. Staying out to the right. We're going to go ahead and turn into the apex and then hold that through and then start to build on that, back on that throttle as we go down the hill. Build a little bit of throttle down the hill to the left. All right, little bit of braking. Stay to the left all the way in deep and then turn in nice and tight, staying off the surface. Hold that nice, throttle up. Let it track out a little bit to the left. Hold the wheel just like that, throttle up. And then unwind as you center over the center of the track. Nice job. We're going to get to the left side a little bit. Nice and smooth. All right. Turn in my side, nice and tight to the apex. Hold it all the way through to the orange cones. Nice. Carrying good speed through here. Track out. Hold that all the way to the left side. And then back over to the apex. And then back over to the left. Back onto the right. Hold that all the way nice and tight. And then go ahead and throttle up. Beautiful. Nice. A lot of power. Right side of the track, lift and brake. Right side of the track. All right. And then go ahead and turn into our apex. Hold it all the way through and go ahead and throttle down through the hills here a little bit. There you go, nice. Down to our left side. We're gonna get a little bit of braking done here. Get it all the way deep and then turn in and get back to that throttle and roll through the apex and throttle. Out. And then hold the wheel just like that. We're gonna come back to my side, hit the apex. And it'll car naturally right to the center. It'll track, throttle up. Lift and brake. Brake a little bit harder. Stay out to the left here and then turn in nice and tight. This is our, we're going to bring it in on this lap. Nice job.
At lift, it just drops at speed.
Yeah, right. You got it.
Instantly.
Yes, it's crazy. Yeah, it's like just instantaneous. A nice apex to the right and then back out to the track on left. And then we're going to follow the cones all the way in on the left side of the track into the pits. Left side. There you go. Up over the crest through the blue.